Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. Look, I'm not just here to be a host today. I want you to think of me as your mentor on this journey. Our goal? To absolutely decode the puzzle that frustrates millions of people. How do we actually go from zero, or even drowning in debt, to true financial independence? Consider this explainer your personal blueprint. We've taken the experiences of seasoned entrepreneurs, hard data, and incredible true success stories and distilled them into a clear, actionable strategy. So let's just dive right in, because honestly, the path to wealth isn't some sort of magic trick. It's a science, and it requires a ton of patience, perseverance, and discipline.
But before we even look at a single number, I need to ask you a really direct question. Are you paralyzed by the fear of failure? Or maybe you're sitting there thinking a lack of starting capital is the one big thing standing in the way of your financial freedom. You know, this frustration is incredibly common, especially in the middle class. People feel totally stuck in this endless loop of just working to pay the bills. And the fear of losing the little we do have, it makes us hesitate. But what if that exact fear is literally the thing keeping you poor?
Well, let's totally smash that myth of the tragic failure right now. Take entrepreneur Amar Omar as a living, breathing example. This guy started from absolute zero. I mean, early on, he didn't even have 5 dirhams in his pocket. And just as he started seeing a little bit of success, he was scammed and lost a massive 450,000 dirham investment. And get this, it was money he had borrowed. Imagine the crushing debt and depression. He hit rock bottom. But here's the thing, he didn't give up. He learned from that massive failure, honed his skills, and rose back up to make his first million at just 26 years old. The absolutely crucial point here is that financial ruin is just a harsh lesson. It's a stepping stone, never the end of the road.
All right, let's get into Section 1, the wealth mindset and overcoming failure. Look, before I hand you any tactical financial tools, we absolutely have to fix the mindset first. Strategies are completely useless if your mind automatically rejects them. Notice the sharp psychological contrast Harvey Eker points out in his work, Secrets of the Millionaire Mind. A wealthy mindset looks around and sees a world just full of opportunities. They think big, and they build assets to make money work for them. But conversely, a poor mindset focuses on obstacles. They think small, and they fear risk so much that they miss out on amazing opportunities, ultimately spending their entire lives just working for money. The rich treat money as a tool, not a master.
To actually change this mentality, expert Mohammed Yusuf offers some golden advice. He says you need to do a deep clean of your vocabulary. Take negative phrases like "I can't" or "it's impossible" and literally delete them from your brain. Removing the word impossible from your dictionary is the very first step to psychologically preparing yourself for the long, tough journey of entrepreneurship. You've got to build incredible personal willpower, fully accept that you will fail along the way, and be willing to try over and over until you finally succeed.
Moving right along to Section 2, the defense, budgeting and controlling expenses.
Building wealth is honestly a lot like playing a sport. You cannot win if you only play offense. You need a rock-solid defense. And the first golden rule of defense, which was highlighted by Al Jazeera's economic reports, is this: pay yourself first. The very moment you get your paycheck, instantly deduct exactly 10% and save it. Do not wait until the end of the month to save whatever's left over, because let's be real, there is rarely anything left. This 10% is your first line of defense for emergencies, and it's the pure fuel for your investment journey. You have to treat it as a strict, non-negotiable bill.
So, what about the rest of your cash? To organize the remainder of your money, you're going to use the famous 50-30-20 budget framework. 50% of your income goes straight to essentials. Think housing, food, basic bills. Then 30% is allocated to your wants, because hey, we don't want to live in total deprivation, right? This covers entertainment, gifts, going out to eat, and the remaining 20%, that goes entirely to debt repayment and your investment or savings fund. Sticking to this exact split gives you precise, absolute control over where every single penny goes.
Okay, but how do we actually apply this in our daily lives? First, you need to set your financial goals with crystal clear precision. Second, open a completely separate savings account so your funds don't mix and tempt you to spend what you shouldn't. Third, you have to track your daily expenses. Avoid chaotic impulse spending, and please beware of the trap of fake retail discounts that just push you to buy things you don't even need. And finally, start saving right at home. I'm talking about turning off unnecessary appliances and reducing water and electricity waste. They seem like small steps, but they compound to make a massive difference in your budget over time.
Which brings us to Section 3, the offense, the saving trap and income skills.
So we've built this ironclad defense, right? But defense alone just isn't going to cut it. You simply cannot save your way to millions if your income is fundamentally too low. Look at this absolutely shocking figure highlighted by financial expert Makawi. If you have an average income and become an absolute savings champion, putting away 20% of your salary every single month without investing it or increasing your income, it would take you 164 years to reach $1 million. Crazy, right? The trap of just cutting expenses has a hard ceiling. The wealthy aren't just savings geniuses, they are absolute geniuses at expanding their income streams.
So the obvious question is, how do we drastically increase our income? Expert Dan Lok points to 5 high-income skills that require absolutely 0 university degrees. All they take is effort and focus. First, copywriting. That's the art of persuasion on paper to drive massive sales. Second, consulting, offering your deep expertise to businesses for a premium fee. Then there's digital marketing and managing social media for others. Fourth, building a YouTube channel as an instrument of influence and real income. And finally, most importantly, closing and effective communication, because that skill multiplies the power of every other skill you have. Mastering just one of these can totally shatter your traditional salary ceiling.
And expert Mohammed Babid strongly echoes this offensive strategy. He says you must escape the time equals money trap. Think about it. If your income completely stops the exact moment you stop working, you're in danger. The solution here is building scalable digital assets. We're talking about selling digital products, educational courses, or offering automated AI services. You work really hard to design and build them once, and then they just continue to sell and generate income for you while you sleep. That is what massively accelerates your cash flow.
All right, let's jump to Section 4, the empire, comparing stocks and real estate.
Now you, as our committed trainee, are gathering real money from a strong defense and a crushing offense. What's next? It's time to build the empire and make that money work for us day and night. Based on some great data from the Samex platform, let's objectively compare 2 investment giants. On one hand, real estate provides incredibly stable rental income and really protects you against inflation. But the liquidity is low. Selling a house takes weeks or months. Conversely, stocks give you very high liquidity, allowing you to sell your assets in literal seconds. But of course, they are subject to sharp daily volatility. The really exciting part, though, you can start both with tiny amounts. You can buy stocks for just 10 rials a share, and you can even get into real estate through fractional ownership for around 1,000 rials. Ultimately, the choice depends entirely on your risk tolerance and your personal goals.
Finally, Section 5, the ideal investment portfolio. But, why choose just one and leave the other on the table? Here lies the ultimate secret to wealth, a balanced diversification strategy to protect your money from inflation and multiply it safely. Notice the incredible symmetry here with our earlier budget framework. Cymex offers this specific allocation as an optimal strategy. Dedicate 50% to stocks to capture that rapid growth and liquidity. Then, put 30% into real estate to ensure stable income and lower your overall risk. And finally, keep 20% in cash or bonds. Why? So you can snatch up quick, unexpected opportunities and handle any sudden emergencies. This level of diversification is the exact shield that ensures your financial empire remains balanced and constantly growing over time.
So, we've laid out the complete blueprint for you today. From fixing a defeated mindset to severely tightening your budget, multiplying your income with modern skills, and finally deploying your money into a perfectly balanced portfolio. As we saw from the success stories earlier, this road won't be paved with roses. The journey demands immense patience and absolute perseverance over years. But deciding to abandon fear and applying these rules immediately, that is what makes all the difference. The first step in a journey of $1 million starts today, with a decision you make right this second. So, what's it going to be? Are you ready to stop making excuses and actually start building your wealth? Remember, just having this knowledge isn't enough. Execution is the true key to freedom. Thank you so much for joining this explainer, and we'll catch you in the next analysis.